What is happening? Big Brown Breakdown Familia. The Brownies. I don't know what the hell we'll call each other. The Brownies, fellow Brownies. Jesus Christ. Long day. Special bonus episode on that ass. We got Deontay Wilder coming in studio. Love that guy. He just knocked out Stavern in the first round. Ridiculous performance. So it's going to be interesting to see what's next for him. I'm a big fan of his, and he's phenomenal on the mic. So I'm excited he's in LA, and he's giving us some time. So that's why we're doing this bonus episode. Started off this morning with a workout, ran the stairs, and then went straight from there to Stone Cold Steve Austin's house where he records his podcast, Unleashed. And I guess if you don't cuss, it's just a regular Stone Cold podcast. But he goes, "Do you cuss?" And I go, "Man, it comes out. It just depends, man. I try not to." And he goes, "All right, well, don't feel like you have to censor yourself. If you want to cuss, I'll just release this on the Unleashed." I went, "All right." Well, of course, you end up cussing. He's literally one of my favorite people, man. Just because of him, I'm slowly getting back into wrestling and the stories and stuff like that. And I told him that on the podcast. I think it comes out next Thursday is what he told me. So stay tuned for that. And Stone Cold, he's one of the best guys in the business. I had him laughing so hard we had to shut off the podcast. We had to stop it.
You can't talk about it, right?
I don't know if it's gonna be funny for the listener if it's gonna come out the same. But we were laughing. So I had a busy day, and I was even laughing in between certain gigs I was doing. I was laughing just thinking about Stone Cold. He had this dog there, this little lab. I don't know, maybe 8 months old, just destroying things out of control. And it was a good combo, man. He's literally one of my favorite people. You want to talk about never meet your heroes. Not that I was super into wrestling, but that guy's a hero to a lot of people, and he's one of the good ones. He's one of the ones you want to meet. He's just so down to earth and hilarious and just a guy's guy. But for a reason, me and him hit it off. And I want to get him on the Fire and the Kid. He's been on the Big Brown Breakdown. Matter of fact, he was on the first Big Brown Breakdown ever. And then we've been trying to get me on his. Then finally we lined it up. And he's close. Me and him are basically neighbors. And I want to get him back in here. I guess get him on with Brian so Brian can jack him off or, do the Stone Cold stuff. But, yeah, he was a good dude. And then had like this chemistry read for this TV show. And then flew from there. That was in Studio City. Flew from there to here. Here we are. And I am sipping on a Diet Dr. Pepper. Haven't eaten today, so that is my lunch breakfast. It's 4:15 p.m. right now on a lovely Thursday. And there's some MMA news, even though we did a Big Brown Breakdown yesterday. That's the world we live in. There's always something going on. And I see you guys on Instagram and Twitter saying, "God, I want your comments on this or that, So here we are. So what do you got, Jen?
How about the biggest thing going on right now? Where Colby Covington and Fabricio Verdum were in Australia, and Verdum threw a boomerang at Colby's face.
What world are we? We're in the upside down world right now. So obviously, Colby Covington has upset a lot of Brazilians, and Verdum in particular. Verdum keeps going after the smaller man here. It's just a bad look, and also, I don't think Verdum got the memo that Colby's playing the heel here. He doesn't mean necessarily everything he's saying. If you talk to Damian Maia, he actually had nothing but nice things to say after they fought. For Verdum to hit him with a boomerang, A, is hilarious. B, only Verdum would buy a boomerang in the gift shop in Australia because they're in Australia. He's there as a guest fighter. This is what bothers me about this whole story is Colby is actually gonna press charges.
Yep.
Is he pressing charges, or is it the Australian government, or is it the hotel? Is it actually Colby pressing charges?
What we know is that Colby said he was going to press charges, and then finally Verdum got served with a summons.
That's a bitch move. That's where I'm out. That's why I can't support, because if you're gonna play the heel, you're gonna piss off a ton of people, and you gotta have thick skin, man. Granted, I know you got hit with a bow and arrow. You should never hit anyone.
Boomerang.
What'd I say? Bow and arrow? Same shit. A boomerang is Australian arrow. Anyways, so you got hit in the face with a boomerang. Let's be honest, it probably didn't hurt that bad. It wasn't a serious injury. Just guy code, you can't press charges. That's a world of red tape Verdum doesn't need, the UFC doesn't need. If you're going to play the heel, you gotta expect stuff like this. People are going to throw things at you. Brazilians are going to be pissed off about what you said, but, so. And then, when I say Colby doubled down, double down. Don't press charges against other men. That's where you're going to lose kind of your man card there. Mm-hmm. And then he does double down on John Jones, doesn't he? What else you got?
Let's talk about this. So after that happened, John Jones congratulated Fabricio Verdum on Twitter for attacking Colby Covington. You can see that there he goes.
I despise racism. Good job today at Fabricio Verdum. Dude had the audacity to call you a F word as he's backing up on Facebook Live. Brazilian flag. Goddamn, John Jones is thirsty. Although he is coming after John. Colby has been coming after him. So it says John Jones feels sad for Colby.
There's a series of tweets back and forth.
So after John tweets that I despise racism, come on, easy on racism. And then he goes, then Colby tweets out, wow, a criminal condoning assault with a deadly weapon? Go figure. Hashtag filthy animals. And then he posted a meme of John doing coke. Not the best meme I've ever seen. Kind of lazy, not that well thought out, but whatever. Knock, knock, shit, you saw this here. It's all right. Again, he's doubling down. And then he goes, at Colby Covington says, hold on, scroll up. Scroll back up to Colby. Yeah, so he's using my name to stay relevant at Johnny Bones. Don't you have another drug test to fail or a knockdown to hide under, you loser? ? And then John responds, a bunch of them. Yes, because, and this is at Johnny Bones, so it's a real John Jones. He puts, yes, because I've been using your name in interviews talking about some imaginary college 2-year relationship, hinting that they never spent 2 years in college. I'd love the real story behind that. John continues to go, thank you so much, brother. You just made me more famous. Laughing, kind of, because John Jones, he's obviously way more famous. And he goes, at the end of the day, brother, I feel sad for you. I couldn't imagine holding that type of animosity in my heart. Really? I understand you're trying to get your followers up. There's nothing wrong with that. Your jealousy and hatred for me, it's clear as day. The weird thing is, I'm not even sure what I did to you. I haven't seen you in like 11 years. Just wish you would smash some people in the octagon and become more recognized that way instead. Fair point. Although he is smashing dudes. Not John Jones style, but he is doing well. You're making a lot of enemies, brother. All the best. A lot of Brazilian enemies, but other than that. And then he goes, this is John still. And tell your mom I said hello. It was great getting to know her. That one semester we stayed together. Whoa. She's a really great human being. It's kind of weird. And then have him turn around and go cry to the police. Police, I'll pass. What is it?
Responding to this tweet.
Throw a boomerang at him, said at Fitness by Blue. Mm-hmm. Yes, because I've been using your name in interviews talking about some magic. Throw a boomerang at him. It's a little messy on both ends. And John about his mom was weird. It's weird I'm weird here. Colby shouldn't have pressed charges. John, all the times to come out and speak and just not acknowledge what's going on in his own career and to do this and to defend Verdum's a little weird. But, Colby's throwing a lot of shade at him. I'm telling you, man, we're in a male soap opera. Mm-hmm. That's what the mixed martial arts world is. It's a straight up male soap opera. But again, Colby's doubling down. It's going to be interesting to see who his next fight is after all this, because he's obviously talking about him. What else you got?
This just came out. I have it here. Give me one sec. Here. Anderson Silva has a new thing that he tweeted out.
So it's a picture of him sitting there with the belt on in the heydays, and it says, thank you so much for all the support you have shown me over the past week. This means a lot to both my family and I just to keep you updated on what's going on now. My medical team is working very closely with USADA to find out the reason for my suspension of UFC Shanghai. Hopefully we'll get more news very, very soon. I've been fighting for the past 20 years and always tried to be an example to my fans and my sport. Again, I want to thank all of you for your support. I hope to see you fight again. All bullshit. All just cookie-cutter bullshit. Why come out with that? Your last one was just as much bullshit.
Yeah, the last one was weird.
You've been tested hot before. Here you go again. Your team's working with USADA. It doesn't really work like that. And also, that B sample just always comes back pretty true to form. So, it's a sad story for him, man. It's kind of a bummer. But I understand why he's doing it, trying to keep up with the Kelvin Gaslams of the world, the young bucks. Mm-hmm. Stipe Miocic, contract talks going on, hoping to return first quarter of 2018. Who I would assume he meets the winner of Francis Gano.
Alistair?
Overeem? Depending on how Verdum does. Although they already fought, but still he's already fought all of them except for. I'm assuming they're hoping Francis wins that fight. Okay. What's unclear this time is who Miocic would fight. The winner of this weekend's Verdum. Tabera fight. No. Even if Tabera wins, there's no way they're giving him a title shot. The winner of so your winner of Gano and Overeem will be the deal. I'd definitely watch that. It's gonna be interesting to see. I'm dying to see Francis versus Stipe, just because I want to see Francis versus a well-versed athlete who's really good at grappling, good at boxing, see how he does. Who we don't know. We don't know. He's starching everybody. That fight against Overeem, if he lands there, that's gonna be a short night.
You want to do these real time?
If they're good.
How about Tyron Woodley opening up as a big favorite if he fights Nate Diaz?
Well, he came out, and maybe it was on his show on TMZ or something. I saw on my feed that he has been offered the Nate Diaz fight, but Nate Diaz hasn't signed it yet. But sent Woodley a text, said, "Don't be scared, homie." And Woodley's like, "Okay, we'll sign the contract." Yeah, I don't know. Open up as a -260 favorite over Diaz, plus 200 underdog. Seems fair. But again, I think, I think it's a different puzzle for Woodley to solve. Diaz being so game with his boxing, dangerous on the ground. But, he's had a long layoff. Mm-hmm. He's had a very long layoff. So maybe that's why he's such a big underdog.
Lineker calls out Rivera.
Really?
Yeah, let's take a look at this.
And then Joanna said her next fight will be for the belt.
Let's actually look at that first then.
Is there any weight to that? Or she just thinks it will be? I know what I want in life, just done it for the last 2 years, last 14 years of my career. It will be the same next year. I back my words. I don't just talk. I spoke to UFC and my return is set. My next fight will be for the title belt. I don't know if Rose is going to want to fight in a month in January, February. I'll spend the next 2 months in Poland with my family. I have a lot of media obligations. Let's chill out on that. I'll be flying out to China in a few days, and that's it. This is my time away, my rest. Like I said, if Rose wants to fight in February or March with the first contender available, it doesn't matter to me if she'll be wearing the belt or if there will be a new champion. I'm going after what's mine, and that's the belt. That's kind of weird. Then she continues to follow up. Would she like a tune-up fight? No, that was a mistake. I'm looking at it as a mistake. I already turned the page. It was a mistake. I don't need to have a fight to get ready. It's not like I wasn't prepared for the fight. I don't have any reproach for myself because of it. I know it looks different from the outside, and it's a loss is a loss. If you didn't feel that day, all right, why did it did? People just don't know. All right. So they're definitely giving her.
Which they should, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. I would imagine Rose is going to want to wait for that. I don't think Rose is going to fight in those other girls that don't really have a name. If I was Rose, I'd soak in all this time being the champion and then fight Joanna.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight
late next year. That's what I would do.
Since we're on girls, Jermaine Durandamy popped up in the headlines recently. She doesn't know when she's going to be back, but I guess there was an announcement that she'd be fighting someone named Caitlin Vieira.
First of all, Caitlin Vieira is a fucking monster.
Oh, okay.
She just fought. She was supposed to be the Olympics for wrestling, and click on it right there, and she was the girl who, I think she had cancer. Yeah, she had cancer, so she had to pull out of the Olympics and figure life out. But am I right in this, or am I off? Am I thinking of someone else? She the girl? I'm thinking of someone else, aren't I?
Oh, I guess
she just fought.
Sarah McMahon. She won 9-0.
No, she just fought. That was September. No. I'm thinking. Who's the girl that just fought? Go back to the last UFC card. God damn it! What's her name? Oh, she's a monster. No one wants to fight her.
The most recent fight night?
Yes.
That's not 122, is it?
She just destroyed some poor girl. Phenomenal wrestler. She's going to give tons of people problems.
Nina Ansaroff? Angela?
No, Tatiana Suarez.
Oh, okay.
Click on her.
Yeah, she was from Tough, I think.
Yes, that's one. She was the strawweight winner. Yeah, she's back on wrestling. She's a monster.
Yeah, cancerous thyroid. Cancerous growth in her thyroid.
Yes. So it kind of ended her wrestling career. Now she's in mixed martial arts and just smashing everyone.
Sweet. Well, that Durandamy thing, so that girl, Caitlin Vieira.
I don't care about Durandamy. I gotta be honest. I don't give a fuck.
But this story is funny because this other girl said that they were supposed to fight, and then Durandamy said, no, it was never even supposed to happen.
It's kind of like when Paige Van Zandt was like, oh, I'm fighting for the belt next. And then the UFC was like, no, you're not. You remember that?
No.
So Paige Van Zandt, yeah, look it up. Paige Van Zandt tweeted out, my next fight will be to the winner who wins the belt on the Ultimate Fighter. And she tweeted that out, and the UFC, they asked, in the scrum, and the UFC was like, no, that's not true.
There we go. Van Zandt claims she has received a UFC flyweight title fight. Officials say otherwise.
Not happening. Yeah, so my next fight is against the winner of the 125 division Ultimate Fighter. Don't blink. The UFC said, no, go ahead and blink because that ain't happening.
Could she just say that just because that's what she wants?
No.
Just throw it out there? She really thought.
No. So someone in the UFC, someone, maybe her manager, someone told her that might be what's next, and then they weren't ready to release that, or that makes 0 sense. Well, I shouldn't say 0 cents in this day and age. With rankings don't matter. It makes sense. Paige is a huge name, looks the part, tough girl, but for her to get a title shot's pretty crazy. But at 125, new division, you have Paige, who's the face. They're trying to figure things out with her. They put a lot of marketing dollars into her. So there you go. And then Brett Okamoto just spoke to UFC officials who say there are no plans of a Paige Van Zandt 125 title fight being formalized as of right now. I don't see her just making that up on her own. It wouldn't even make sense. There's no way.
Yeah. I mean, it would be weird if she just wanted to do it and threw it out there.
It screws you over, though, because you're honey dicking your fans. It's just not true. They do tell you, too, when they give you information for fights, something like that, like, hey, make sure, when you tell this, don't wait for us to release this. Like, it's a big deal. They don't want you blasting out or leaking anything out. I wouldn't be surprised. Makes sense if she does fight for the title.
Wait, this is recently?
Yeah.
Jeez, I thought this was a long time ago.
No.
Okay.
You gotta step game up, Chin.
I know. Ultimate Fighter.
Come on, son. During UFC 217.
Jeez.
I know. She's ranked 10th. But that's in the strawweight division. Again, she's a huge star, man. Huge star. So it would make sense of that new division why you'd have a recognizable face do it.
Let's take a look at that thing we saw earlier. Lineker calls out Jim Rivera wants TJ Dillashaw rematch.
Scroll up. What's it say?
The very, very top?
John Lineker calls out Jimmy Rivera wants TJ. Okay. Well, I don't want to see Lineker versus TJ ever again. He got outclassed. But definitely wants Jimmy Rivera and Lineker. Although I want Lineker.
Garbrandt, right?
Garbrandt. That's what I would like. But Jimmy Rivera needs a dance partner, so that works. I see that headline there. It says Tyrone Woodley says Nate Diaz is scared. I guess it's in the bloodline. God, how do you... It doesn't really work, does it? Breaking news. This is coming hot off the press, son. Chin just brought it to our attention. The UFC just tweeted out, there's a title on the line at UFC 219. They found their title, their main event. Chris Cyborg is set to defend her undisputed featherweight championship against Holly Holm. Las Vegas, December 30th. That is a fight, and that is also a chance for Holly Holm to become an opportunity to become the greatest female fighter of all time, because my argument here is Holly beat Ronda in her heyday, and if she beats Cyborg, no matter what, yeah, she lost to Misha, all that, I don't care, but she beat Ronda, who's considered the best. She's beat Cyborg, hypothetically, if she were to beat Cyborg when she's at her best, she goes down as the greatest female mixed martial artist of all time. That being said, is one tough test for Holly Holm. I would assume she's the underdog. I don't know what the odds are, but that is a hell of a main event. Probably the most, I want to say high level women's fight of all time. Besides, Joanna's fight, her striking obviously is world class. But as far as like, you got Holly Holm, who, some consider the pound for pound greatest female fighter of all time. You look at her record, it's unblemished. And then, except for that one Muay Thai fight. And then you got Holly Holm, who is one of the most decorated boxers of all time. She has the Ronda knockout. And she's coming off a win, even though she had a rough kind of path there. That Durand and me would mark up. She got screwed in New York. That wasn't really a loss. I think she should have won that fight. But the Miesha Tate one, she straight up lost the belt. So she had a rough skid, but she does have an opportunity here to cement herself as the greatest female fighter of all time. That is a big, big test to pass. I would assume she's an underdog. And, I'm obviously break it down as we get closer to the week of December 30th. But my instinct is to go with Cyborg on this one. You like Holly? If you look at this fight, stylistically, Cyborg's the perfect matchup for Holly. Holly's probably, in the division, she matches up best against Cyborg. Cyborg's definitely her toughest test. A counter striker with world-class striking, they want you to come forward so you can get knocked out. Well, that's Cyborg. But people forget, and I think it's a big kind of X factor here, is Cyborg's a black belt on the ground. And also very, very strong. So it could cause Holly a lot of problems if she decided to take her down, which I'm sure she will attempt to do at some point. And we all know Holly's kind of Achilles' heel is jiu-jitsu. Not her takedown defense. Her takedown defense isn't awful at all. It's when it gets down there at a world-class level, it's hard for her to keep up. And she's never going to be able to close that gap. Just at this stage of career, it's not going to happen. So that could be a huge X factor. And I'm sure Cyborg will try to capitalize on that. But that's a great fight. I'm stoked.
It's set then, man.
You like it?
30th. I mean, they finally have like a big headliner, so.
I know.
That's cool.
We need to get Cyborg on the show. Love to hear what she thinks of it. Shout out to Cyborg. Shout out to Holly Holm, too. I love both of them. Great fight. Breaking news. There you go.
Yeah. How about that?
Ready for some Deontay Wilder?
I am.
Are you ready for some Deontay Wilder?
I'm so ready.
Deontay Wilder is one of my favorite human beings. I think he's kind of misunderstood. He's starting to come out of his shell, meaning he's starting to get more in the public spotlight. He is your American heavyweight champion. He just murked Stavern, who, if you remember, he was supposed to fight Luis Ortiz. Ortiz is this boogeyman, undefeated, Cuban, tested hot. So they yank him from the fight. They put Stavern in at the last second, and Wilder just, and Stavern's a guy who's never been knocked down, never been knocked out, just gets absolutely annihilated in the first round. And if you haven't seen it, you can go on YouTube right now, look it up, Deontay Wilder, Stavern, and he has his hands down, he's clowning him, and he just knocks him into Pluto. So, he passed the test, and I'm excited for his next fight. And when they told me he was coming to LA, I jumped up opportunity to do an extra show with him just because he's just a good dude, and I think you guys are going to like him. So, ladies and gentlemen, the heavyweight world champion, Deontay Wilder. All right. I am joined by the world champ himself. One of my favorite guests, man. We spent some time in New York together. The world champ, Deontay Wilder. Man, I know you're busy. You're making your rounds in L.A. You got your pregnant fiance here, man.
Put that work in.
You're working all over, man. Selling fights. Yeah. First of all, this Stavern fight, I was texting the Showtime guys. I was like, God, I can't believe Ortiz is out. I saw the news. I'm like, is this real? Yeah. Like, what is going on here, man? What are the odds? Why do dudes keep testing hot when they fight you?
Man, it's got to be the intimidation factor.
Something.
Fear. You know what I mean? And fear make you do a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the only thing that you can describe this is as fear.
Insecurities.
Especially with opponents like Povetkin and opponents like Luis Ortiz.
Yeah.
You know, people label as the greats or the best of our time right now, the best that's at the food chain. And for them to go do things like this, man, it sends a sad message.
My heart broke for you when Ortiz tested hot because it's not so much him. Like the public was like, whatever, Ortiz is out, right? We really don't know him. We know he's this monster. But for you, I felt like it was, especially people in the know were like, all right, here's a legit test for Deontay. The haters are going to say this, say that. Like, all right, here he is. Here's the test. Here's the boogeyman division. This giant Cuban southpaw. No one wants to fight. Exactly. Here we go. And they test hot. I'm like, damn. Not because of Ortiz. That's whatever. I expect that shit out of him. But for you, I was like, damn, man.
Man, I'll be honest. You know, I had a stress breakdown.
Really?
At that time. Man, I went back when I was young. You know, when I was young, they know if I was huffing and puffing and start crying and fist ball, you know, like, you better get out the way. You know what I mean? Man. And I converted back to that because it really hurts me. This is the third time, man, in my career. It's like the story of my life.
Do you think it's just a problem overall in boxing, like in the heavyweight division? Not even heavyweight. I mean, a lot of dudes get busted. Listen, in my world, mixed martial arts, I mean, it's part of the game. Yeah. Our best of all time, Anderson Silva just pissed hot for the second time.
Really?
It happens. It's part of sports. I don't care what sport you're in, basketball, football, baseball, boxing, track, whatever, cycling. Steroids are part of the sport. Yeah. You just have this bad luck with these heavyweights who just keep testing hot, man.
Well, you know, when they're dealing with steroids and stuff like that, I think it's okay for certain things, but combat sports, I don't think it's cool for that because you finna put harmful damage to another person. And, you know, when it's dealing with any type of combat, you know, a man putting his life on the line, he can actually die. Yeah. You know what I mean? With that. And my thing is, like, how do I get blamed for it, though? People blame me.
I saw one, I felt like I saw on your timeline, on my timeline, I post things, like, oh, Deontay scheduled this stuff on purpose. I felt like get on yours and defending like I was like a side chick or some shit, like sticking up for you. Like I was about to get on, like, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? Like, back off, man. You think he scheduled Ortiz because he wants him to test hot? No one wants to go through all this work and then have this dude fall out. And then you get Stavern, who you beat before, and now you can say it's your only blemish on your record because you didn't smoke him and knock him out.
Right.
Then poor Stavern comes in there and gets the wrath of Ortiz testing hot. I felt bad for him, bro.
Man, I didn't. You know what I mean?
I didn't. You didn't at all.
I told him everything I wanted to do, what I was going to do. I even probably killed him for a couple of minutes. Seconds, I would say. But you know, man, I don't know. People always ask me. You know, I was just getting interviewed on the way here, and we was talking about the situation about these guys testing positive for these drugs and stuff like that, and they want to know what could be done about it or whatever. It's like, or how I feel about it. I'm like, at this point, I can't feel nothing. I'm numb to a feeling. All my feeling is drained out.
Yeah.
Especially at the Ortiz situation. Like, bro, that took everything out of me.
Took the energy out of me.
Oh, my God.
I was supposed to work your fight.
Yeah.
They were like, yo, our interview was supposed to go out, and Showtime was like, damn, do you still want to come out? I'm like, damn, I lost all energy. Like, oh, shit, all energy in my body.
A lot of people.
Ortiz, you screwed us.
He messed a lot of up. Even with the fans, I was getting some of the irritation from the fans as well, too.
Hell yeah.
I spent bought 16 tickets. I spent $16,000 on this and this. People were buying rooms and stuff like that.
Trickle down effect.
Man, it was crazy. I'm like, only thing I can do is it could look optimistic about the situation and turn around the positivity for these people. And, of course it worked and stuff like that because I speak from my heart with people. I can't do nothing but say, I'm sorry, this guy, I'm apologizing for his mistakes. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's, but, it's a brighter day. We got to thank God for all situations that we come across because without that happening, we wouldn't have seen the Stavern Deontay Wilder 2 and me having an extravagant performance as I did, you know what I mean? Now I made him famous. You know, he's one of the world most famous boxing
memes
men.
out there. There's some memes out there.
Meme,
you know the Super Mario one? How dare you? People are brutal,
Sliding
man.
in the DM
Dude,
and everything.
people are brutal.
Hey.
But this is out of the storm comes sunshine, because if you would have went out there and fought Stavern and it was another 12-round decision, I don't, people are like, he's not ready for the next level.
Yeah.
But you go out there, you put your hands down against the man. I was like,
man.
what is he doing? I sent them the GIF. I sent Showtime the GIF. I went, good Lord.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just clown him. You destroy this dude. I'm telling you, if you didn't do that, I don't know if you have this momentum right now. I don't know if you're doing all these interviews and people want to see you fight the next big dogs.
It wouldn't have been.
As soon as that happened, I text my boy Brian at Showtime, Espinoza, tweet him. I said, Joshua Wilder.
Yeah.
Because you look at Joshua's last fight, that wasn't impressive.
Exactly.
That wasn't impressive at all. Stavern's never been knocked out. He's never really knocked down.
And he's a former champion.
And you had your hands down in the first round.
So disrespectful.
And then Joshua's fight, and I'm a big Joshua fan. Everyone knows that. But I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You look at what Wilder did. You look at what Joshua did. Make the fight.
Right.
And then you called the man out after.
Man, it was a wonderful night, man.
Right? It's a celebration.
Oh, my God. When we
capitalize on a shitty situation, I got to be honest.
Man, God shine downs and smile downs are those that does right. Sometimes we come across things, we do it wrong, but, as long as we correct our rights and everything, okay. So, I say that to say this, like, in this situation that I've been through, you know what I mean, I've still weathered the storm, and I've hold myself from situations because I felt like giving this sport up. I felt like getting out of there.
Really?
You know what I mean? I really did, because it hurted me that bad. And it's like I got mouths to feed at the end of the day, and y'all messing with my money. You know what I'm saying? So with this being said, I'm like, man, I was thinking about going to MMA and everything, man.
Dude, come on now, I'll help you out. I'll help you like ground game.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Dudes out.
For real. So, man, just thank God, man, for everything, especially with the performance, because, like you said, it definitely made the Wilder Joshua fight even bigger now.
Yes.
The anticipation of it and the excitement. Man, I'm getting love all over. Like, everybody is involved, man. It's even other celebrities and stuff. Like, people cannot wait for this fight, And the thing about it, due to the fact that my performance, overshadowed his,
Not even close.
Not even close. So, with that being said, I think they're gonna want to have a warm-up fight before fighting me. I prefer going straight into the fight.
You should.
But I think they're gonna have a warm-up. We're gonna be one fight apiece. We're going to have one fight apiece and then probably go into it. I think that's what they're looking at, the direction that they're looking at.
You think because you can tell he's familiar with what's going on. Obviously, you're passing the test over here, making waves. Because before, he didn't talk a lot about it. And I was like, come on, Joshua. Like, you guys are good dance partners where we could sell the shit out of this fight. Let's go. And then now he's forced to address it because you knocked Stavern out like you did. He's like, damn, I better do something here. And it's Eddie Hearn, right? Is that
correct,
it? That's
correct.
his promoter.
Correct.
Who's a colorful dude, and even now he's talking about it, right?
Yeah.
So that it's in motion. If he were to fight someone, he's probably going to fight Parker, the New Zealand cat.
I think they're trying to make a deal with him, but Parker, they're trying to lowball him a little bit, and Parker's like, nah, we want like 40, 60.
Come on,
and
Parker.
stuff like that. But God's gonna. But they look at the trend of, and you paid for a Charles Martin belt, with a guy that was unworthy of they proclaimed $5 million.
He won the belt from a rolled ankle.
Yeah.
Charles Martin won the belt.
Exactly.
The dude rolled his ankle and won the world title.
And then he
How crazy is that?
And then Charles Martin
celebrated like you knocked out Stavern in the first round. I was like, well, the homeboy just rolled his ankle and he got the belt. I was like, damn, what is going on?
Hey, he won the belt and
belt's a belt, I guess.
He walked like a god.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And then got the Joshua fight.
Then he got the Joshua fight, but they bought that belt. So once you start doing that, because Charles Martin at that point haven't fought nobody. They came across a vacant belt, which is a blessing in disguise. To come across a vacant belt. That's why Glasgow. Because I was finna fight Glasgow, but he chose to go that route because he felt like it was easier. And, to get that fight, he called out AJ. They buy the belt. You know what I mean? Basically, that's what it did because they always make excuses of me. They always talk about splits and talk about popularity and stuff like that. But when you look down your history line, look at the guys that Eddie, you look because Eddie is the one that's doing all the talking.
He's doing all the talking.
You know what I mean? But the thing about it, he can only add fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
He's not going to get in there. You know how they is. I call them side bitches. You know what I mean? They talk on the side. You know what I mean? Because they know they ain't going to feel the pain.
Yeah.
They ain't going to feel this hurt. You know what I'm saying? So he do all this talking, like the popularity and all this stuff like this and try to, I don't know, he tried to throw shade on me, but I got this skin. I ain't dark for nothing.
He's just, I think he's a promoter, so what he's trying to do is put all the chips in his guy's corner. So because obviously the fight makes sense, the fans want to see it. I appreciate it. He goes, all right, here's the next 3 fights for Joshua. You're getting, in no specific order, you're getting Wilder, you're getting Parker, and you're getting Fury. Well, Fury's 400 pounds right now, clinically insane. So that's not, we don't know what's going to happen there. So that's not a viable opponent. So then you got Parker, which you said you're going to fight once, and then you guys have to tango. You know what I'm saying? And and the big holdup for me, I go, man, where are they going to do it though if it were to happen?
Well, this is what's so exciting about this fight. We got different avenues that we can take with this one. You know, we can have a double hitter fight where we both fight twice. We can fight one here in America, one in the UK.
Why not?
You know, or we can do like we can have to build it up. You know, if they talking about fighting somebody else, we can do it on the same night.
That'd
be
sick.
He gonna fight in the evening time. I fight at night.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. To build it up, then make the fight. So
both with Showtime.
Both with So it's so many different ways that this fight can play out in. But you know, at the end of the day, I'll be glad to announce that me and him fighting on this day. Man, it's gonna be crazy, man. That's how we've been talking. The TV don't even be cut on at our house. You know what I mean? It's just all about strategy and planning. And you know, I'm at peace though. At the end of the day, my house is very peaceful, and we live in peace. Sometimes we'll cut the TV on. Sometimes, most time we don't, because it's so peaceful. Yeah, and that we entertain ourselves, or we be among our own inner thoughts and try to strategize and plan it out. Man,
you guys don't watch Netflix or anything? Like
every night, Things? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because it's like when we at our Alabama home. You know, we got a nice house right outside the lake, so it's I love water. It brings peace to me some type of way. And like when we there, it's a different vibe. It's a different energy. But when I go back to my Atlanta home, you know, it's another environment.
Different energy.
Different energy and stuff like that. So we do different things in different places and stuff like that.
That's cool, man.
But I love being from Alabama. I love being able to go back home because, I mean, I can go anywhere and turn up. Yeah. But how many people can find peace? You can always find something to get into.
I agree.
But can you find peace? Yeah. Can you find your sanity? I have that. So when I'm frustrated, when I'm angry, when I got a lot of stuff going on that's irritating me, you know, I just go back home. Home is where the heart is.
How do you find the balance? Because obviously being world champ, you're on the road doing so many interviews. You know, you're the world champ, heavyweight world champion, especially with America. There's no one even close. And you know, I watched this Ric Flair 30 for 30 for whatever reason. I'm back in wrestling now. But you watch that, and he was this dude who was always on the road, and you know, he lived that life, and he was all about it. Because you kind of got to be selfish as a fighter, as an athlete, as an entertainer. Yeah. But then, you know, if you're going to be the man over here, the family life kind of suffers. Mm-hmm. And that Ric Flair 30 for 30, I admired him for it. But then they talked to his kids, and they're like, he was the worst dad ever. Really? He was never around, man. When he was around, he just gave his Couch Patch dolls and then peaced out. Like, he was a terrible dad. So that bummed me out. Wow. So, and I was had Stone Cold on earlier today. I was talking to him. He goes, I gotta be honest too, man. Like, you know, as a entertainer, which you know, which you are, you're an entertainer. Just happen to do it for reals. You punch people in the face, but it has to be entertaining. Right. So, you know, as an entertainer, it takes everything. And Stone Cold even goes, I was a bad father, man. Yeah. You know what? The dynamic's crazy. I mean, guys who figure it out, nuts. And
you can relate to that as well, too. You're always traveling. You're always doing something. Yeah. It's always so. For me, because I be away from my kids at times, too.
How many do you have?
I have 4 right now, 1 on the way. Boom. So, but the thing about it, even my 3-year-old now, he turned 3 on the 14th of this month. But they got phones where they can call and stuff, and that's the unique thing about technology now because you got FaceTime and my son he know how to do all that stuff and just come, Daddy, what you doing?
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
it makes I love it about it because I always tell her like that boy, if none of my kids ain't gonna call, he gonna call and stuff like that. So every time I go home, I try to make it my duty to get to them. Sometimes even when you go home, you be so exhausted, like you be, you know what I'm saying, you'll talk to them and stuff like that. But the thing about it, I think the secret is to always stay connected with your kids, whether if you can't see them as much, at least call. That's what phones are for.
No
That's what
what.
FaceTime are for.
Yeah.
Always continue to tell your children, I love you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they
do.
remember it. You know what I'm saying? So even if they don't see you, they know Daddy still love me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you grow up with that?
With
parents like that?
Saying they love you and stuff. No, I didn't grow up. You know, my family wasn't like that. You know what I mean? We didn't grow up in a family where they said, you know, not constantly. You know, I remember probably 2 times my father said he loved me. One time he was whooping me.
Damn.
You know what I mean? You know, I whoop you because I love you.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
And that's what I told Stavern too when I whooped him. I said, I'm gonna whoop you because I love you. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? But the thing about it though, even although my family didn't tell me that, you know, but they showed me in other ways. You know what I'm saying? Especially my father, because even when my mother stepped out of the picture for a while, my father was there.
He took over.
I mean? Took all care of all of us. Sometimes he wouldn't.
How many?
Well, it was 4 of us at that time. You know what I mean? And especially for a man,
God
you know what
bless
I mean?
him.
Yeah. So he did everything. You know what I'm saying? So I had to respect him for that. You know,
how can you not?
That's what made me a strong man and being able. I'm a provider.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I might not be there all the time physically, but mentally and spiritually, you know, I'm always there. I mean, you know, not even just for my kids, not even just for my family, but other families as well, too. I do a lot of stuff for people.
I
just don't promote it out there because I do it from the heart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need publicity out there. Oh, wow, I don't need that.
I feel like you'd be doing it anyways if you were world champion or not.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
I've always been known to be a provider. You know what I mean? Always. And because I'm a great type of guy that can save my money, too, and I put it in the right areas as well, too. But even before money, the little things that I had, you know, I still was able to give people something that was not fortunate to have as much as I had.
Yeah.
And I think these are the times where God is smiling down on me and blessing me so much because boxing is just a platform that he put me on. I think at the end of my life, when it's all said and done, it's going to be way beyond boxing. You know what I mean? This is just a stage to gather the people.
For sure.
To speak the message. And then after that, man, I think you got something big in store for me.
Did you grow up fighting?
Oh, yeah, for sure,
Non-stop.
for sure. You know, I tell people all the time, I never look for trouble, but trouble always found me. You know what I mean? And I always had to pick a choice.
Because you were like the tall, slender kid, or what's up?
During that time, I wasn't tall. You know what I'm saying? I think when I got in high school, that's when I started growing. I think 9th grade was my last time fighting as well, too. After that, I started having a growth spur, you know what I'm saying?
And they're like, nah,
9th grade, I was 6'4", 6'5".
Damn.
And, you know, even after high school, I grew 1 more inch to 6'7". You know what I mean? And I was like crazy. But during that time, after you get, especially when you hit high school, though, you already got that reputation.
For sure.
Streetwise.
They know
like,
better.
That dude don't play. Like, he ain't going to bother. I was the type of dude that I only spoke when spoken to.
Yeah.
If you bother me, I'll bother you. You
Yeah.
don't bother me, that's the same way I am now. I'm a dude that, you know, I don't like to be around crowds a lot.
Either.
You know what I'm saying? I like to be around my inner circle, people that I know and I love and I trust.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we have fun together. You know, we do our own activity, we do it together. Sometimes we may go places, sometimes we may be around other peoples and stuff like that, which, you know, sometimes it's fun, but most of the time we're just around each other and stuff like that, you know, family, friends and stuff like that. So I think that's very important.
Do you want your kids to fight?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. You know what I mean? Even with my son mother, I was telling her, like, I don't want my son to fight. You know what I mean? He's so intelligent right now, and the things where he because only one of my daughters didn't grow up into boxing, but she was still young. She was about 1 or so when I started really getting into it. That was my oldest daughter, but she knows so much about it. She used to daddy, traveling, going different places and stuff like that. But the rest of the kids, they they grew into this.
That's all they know.
Yeah, that's all they know. So, especially my youngest son, he used to sleep with socks on his hand. Yeah. That would have been his boxing gloves and stuff like that.
Damn.
And sometimes he'll teach the kids at preschool.
He wants to be like Dad.
Yeah, he's a junior as well too. So he look at it, he love it, he understands it. My kids know Stavern and all that. They'll call him out. Yeah, he told him, Dad, you knocked Stavern out.
This is my thing though with your kids and their dad being the heavyweight champ. And I say people, I have a 20-month-old son. They go, you want him to fight? I went, no. There's no world champions sleeping satin sheets in Malibu, California. The world champions don't come out of Malibu. They don't come out of their dad making 7 figures. Exactly. You're not going to get that. That this pressure and the dynamics build this diamond into this world champion. My kid he's going to come up with something else. He's going to be smarter than his dad. Right. He doesn't need to fight. Fighting's for a lot of people that I didn't have a lot of other options. Right. He has a ton of options.
And it makes it more personal when you try to fight out of poverty. You have something to fight for. It's something.
There's no plan B.
Yes, no plan. Exactly.
No plan B.
You know what I mean?
People with plan Bs get beat up
badly.
Bad.
You know what I mean? And when we have our kids and be able to provide for them in a certain type of way, what they fighting for? Mm-hmm. Why would they do that? You know what I mean? It's like with my son, I always tell people, I sacrifice for them.
Correct.
So they won't have to
So you don't have to make this walk.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but I also told her that my son's mom, I said, if he wants to do it, and I see it in him, and he's driven, and he's passionate about it, then that's another thing. You know what I mean?
The genetics.
Right.
There's that, where he might just be this freak, this beast. Yeah. We're like, all right, I know the business. I don't want you to get hustled. If you're going to do it, at least let me, walk your hand into the gym. Exactly. So there's that.
Because he's going to be a nice-sized kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So hopefully he don't want to do this. This is a dangerous sport, and I always say, if my mentality, if somebody else have the same mentality like I have, fight them then. You know what I mean?
It's trouble. Do you, being around boxing, and you've been doing it for a while now, multi-time world champ, do you ever become jaded to the business aspect of it? Because when I was fighting, especially when I was starting, all I cared about was winning fights. I didn't care about the money part, the negotiation, none of that. And then once you keep going, you start to see kind of the dark side of fighting. And that bummed me out, man. It broke my heart. Yeah, even in football. I played at University of Colorado, Division I. Went to the NFL, had literally a cup of coffee in the NFL, saw the underlinings of a lot of things, and it broke my heart. And you just become jaded, and I look at these sport avenues different now. It's like, oh, that's that. No, I'm good.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. Boxing, man, is my long-time trainer, JD's. He always put me on the game because he's been in it for a long time, and he always told me, even in the amateur, he said, when you turn pro, you're gonna see that it's a lot of snakes in the grass. This is a dirty business.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And getting into it, over the years and learning and seeing things as well, it's definitely a dirty business. So anything that happened in boxing, it doesn't surprise me.
You know what monster you're dealing with.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
I know it. You can identify it and call it by its name. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I don't really put too much emotion in certain things. You know what I mean? Especially the things that I can't control. I just roll with the punches.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah. At the end of the day, you can drain yourself, just like with the Ortiz thing. But we always talk about the Ortiz situation because it took me back into a place where I haven't been in since I was a child.
You don't mean both. I was supposed to go to New York. I had to cancel my flight. Ortiz, you made a goddamn flight to New York, son.
Man. So, but and you pour so much in, it's draining when you let yourself, go so low. It's draining. You know what I mean? I was, oh my God. Just to think about it, they say when you think about a past situation, it comes back out of you.
Because it brings it back. Emotions,
and when I talk about it, I can feel it. That's why I hesitate.
That triggers me. I hear Ortiz, I get triggered.
But yes.
So what happens to Ortiz? They allowed. He's back.
He's back.
Ranked number 3 in the WBC.
Ranked number 3.
Back then started talking mess. You know what I mean? But
the worst shit talker of all time.
Man,
I don't know if it's a language barrier or what, but it's just he's lukewarm.
The nerves that they had to come back and I told you this, but we already know that this right here is the rule of everything. No matter what, favors and not saying that they did that.
Yeah.
Not saying that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You know, we know how things work, you know, but I'm happy he's back.
I don't think you should fight him.
No.
I don't.
No,
I really
disagree.
don't. I really don't.
I disagree because if
you want to fight him,
the organizations don't set an example, I will.
So you want to fight him?
I want to set an example.
Oh shit!
I want to set an example, and it's gonna be worse than the Stavern. I told Stavern I wanted to kill. I want a body on my record. I really do.
Yeah, that was intense.
I really do. So with him, the emotions that I feel, especially what I feel right now, and this is not even on the line. I would love that fight.
Damn, you're kind of hyping the fight up now.
I would love it.
Damn, I'll take
Love
it
it.
now. All right.
Love
All
it.
right, I'm in. I'm back in.
Love it.
All right, I'm in. I'm back in the
my
Ortiz
goodness.
business.
I hate this.
Because then you get Ortiz, then Joshua,
fight even bigger.
he's going to fight Parker. Yeah, and then you got,
It's even bigger.
what's up?
now.
We're going Sizzler.
Oh my God, the fight even bigger.
Even bigger. Do it the same night.
Woo! But you know, I definitely want Joshua ASAP. But like I said before, we got other options. We always will. You know.
Let's say in a perfect world, before I get you out of the end on this, perfect world, you get Ortiz, you starch him. People are making memes of him like going back to Cuba, sliding the DMs, and then you got.
You done started some.
Yeah, I did. I'm mad at him, man. He ruined my New York trip.
Go back to Cuba.
And then you got Joshua Parker. Joshua takes care of his business there, and you guys match up. Do you see any holes in his game? Do you see anything he can expose
In Joshua game?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Just like I mean, everybody got holes in their game. You know what I mean? It's just like people would say, and he might feel the same way that I got holes. You know, a lot of people say, you know, I come with looping shots or whatever.
I had to defend at the gym for you there. I know I
Yeah.
sound like a dick rider right now, but in the gym they were like, "God, Wilder was so loose, man, when he was beating Cerrone." Like, hold up. He's knocking him out. That's old school beatdown.
Yeah.
Forget the technique. I don't need
Yeah.
my hands by my chin. You're just
Most
knocking a dude out.
Most
he
definitely.
was done.
Tell him
It's
to
like,
go
oh,
back.
he's wild. I'm like,
Tell
no,
them to
no,
go back and look at some Ali fights.
Oh my God, hands are
You know what I
down.
mean?
A lot of fights. A lot
Ali
of those
was-
times.
That's what he was very awkward.
Yeah.
Ali came with looping punches all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what knocks
All
a lot
the
of
time.
guys out. You can't train for those looping
And
punches.
you can't predict when it's coming either. It's a surprise. It's surprising because that's what makes me so effective. Not just because I'm tall, long, and rangy. Not just because I have power, but I have an awkward style with that.
Yeah.
That's dangerous because I have things that you can't teach. You can't teach a fighter to be awkward.
Mm-hmm.
You can't teach them to have power. You can train and build strength and power. You know what I'm saying? But I have it. I have it naturally.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's what makes me dangerous. And, you know, over time, people don't understand difference. They don't understand, you know, they want to see a fighter and they want a fundamental fighter and they want another fundamental fighter. But the thing about it, we all know that styles make fights. You can't have two guys that have the same technique. What's gonna be entertaining or exciting about it?
Yeah, it's a boring fight.
That's why styles make
Correct.
the fights entertaining. You know, and you know, but we coming though, baby.
You're gonna get Joshua. This is my prediction. You're gonna fight Ortiz. He's gonna fight Parker, and then you guys both pass the test. Then you're gonna get Joshua at Wembley Stadium, right? I think it's 90,000.
Yeah.
Get your mind right.
We probably get more than that up in there. They're gonna cram
I don't think
it up.
they can fight. I think that's the max.
Oh, that's the max.
I think 90,000 is the
they
max.
can put more seats. You know, them people's out there, they stand up.
Yeah, they don't mess
So
around.
they say that they consider it like church. This is a place where they
Different level.
Yeah.
That's why like I can understand why Joshua's like, nah, I'm not going to the States, man. I'm not going to T-Mobile Arena, even though I know Wilder's the draw up there. Like, I could just do 90,000 right here. I'm like, valid point, sir.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it, America will always be the mecca and where you make the most money. America always.
Really?
Always.
Even more, even if he gets a
Always.
gate.
Them numbers sound good and they look good.
Yeah.
But we know the true numbers. Come
Really?
on, Al Heyman, man.
Yeah.
We know the true numbers, but it looks good. It do look good on TV.
They got
and
me fooled.
It's in it, yeah. It got a lot of people fooled.
Yeah.
But Eddie Hearn can say what he want to say. You know what I mean? And people gonna believe it because look, it looks like it, which is a good job. But we sit back, we smile like, all right. If
You know,
you really
the
want to
business
make that
side,
money,
you gotta come
to
here.
America. You know, even with the purchase. Just think about it. If this wasn't the place to make money. Don't you think Florida would like say, hey, if I'm stacking out, if I'm making money here, I can make more money. Let's go to the UK or something like that.
Point.
This is the place. They pay-per-view is only $19.95. We'll go $69 and up.
Damn,
we'll hit $89. Our pay-per-view fight here, if he fight in the state, we might go up to $89.95.
Shit, why not go Pacquiao Mayweather on $99?
You know what I'm saying? We could do that and just imagine with smaller crowds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And make more. They made more money. Florida made way more money. He had 90,000 people there.
That makes sense.
90,000. Look how much Florida made. What they had, 20, 30?
14,000, right?
15,000.
Yeah, 17,000 T-Mobile.
For McGregor, 15,
yeah.
15, 16,000.
Oh, my God.
MGM
do the
holds about
math.
14,000.
That's why I tell him, but he don't want to travel because he knows. See, the thing about
he's never fought over here, right?
He never traveled outside. He won his gold medal where he's from. And he's been fighting where he's from. That's all he
Do you
knows.
not have skeptical hippo eyes on him and USADA? Or like testing for that man?
We will be testing for everything. Because we know they run everything, even with the testing.
That boy's
stuff.
jacked. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that boy's jacked.
Look, we know inside secrets. We know inside, I wouldn't say secrets, but we know inside information. You know what I'm saying? About a certain, I ain't going to even get into it. You know what I mean? I ain't going to get into it, but just know that when it's time to fight, we will be testing. Not coming here to America, they know. They understand. It's an operation that they're running, which, they're running it well, but the gravy train got to end because the gravy has ran out.
Yeah.
And when it gets to me, it's going to be to the last drop. I'm not playing. And, they think a lot of Americans talk and stuff like that, but I'm different. I'm the type of person that I believe in what I say wholeheartedly.
You're also 39-0 with 38 knockouts.
Record speaks for itself.
What's up?
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I'm just excited that it have came to these times.
It's about time, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. And I'm just excited. Everybody have done their part. I've added my percentages to it, and all the other heavyweights as well too. And it feels good to say I'm American heavyweight champion of the world. In these times.
And I think more people are getting behind you, man. Which is important.
Man, it's been crazy. Just with all the things, I've been outspoken a lot, talking about a lot of things that people dare not to speak about.
Which is good.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what you want.
Perfect.
Whether they love you or hate you.
Fans from
that
exactly. Politically, whether it's racism, whether it's boxing, you know what I mean? A lot of people relate to you in so many different ways, even if they wasn't a boxing fan.
For sure.
For you speaking out on a certain situation or a subject automatically made them, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm targeting all around, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful because I don't do it for the show. I don't do it for the cameras, the media and stuff like that. I'm a type of, me and my girl was just, my fiance was talking, and so she wanted me to go,
She call it fiance.
Yeah, I'm not your girl. No, it was just, But I forgot what I was going to say.
You have a ring, right?
She give me that look.
I make him lose track
gave
of
me that
time.
Yeah,
look.
right? Yeah, she's
you gave me that
gorgeous,
look.
man.
Like
Good
I'm
for
in
you.
trouble.
Yeah. We'll get you out on this. Does your Crimson Tide, they win the national championship?
Oh, most definitely.
They beat Georgia?
Oh, come on. Oh.
No, they don't. Georgia's damn good.
I'm from University of Georgia.
Oh, there you go. That makes sense.
We had tickets from back in the day.
That's the I got from
You get your season ticket from 67?
From 1980. I got my coupon.
Damn.
I was on campus the last time.
Old school dog over here.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
That's the only difference we got.
That's it, man. Other than that, you're good.
Everything else.
I love it. We'll end on that, man.
Roll
Deontay, dude, I can't thank you enough for coming through, man. I know you're busy. You got a fan here. I will be at your next fight. Probably working, and I just wish you the best, man. You're the guy to do it, and you're doing a damn good job at it. So.
Man, thank you so much, man. It's always a pleasure to come on your show. I think you're doing a great job with your show. And
thanks, man.
Congratulations.
Have fun in San Fran and get your ass back home and to the kids, and appreciate you guys.
My man. Bomb Squad!
There it is. Scared me, but there it is.
My man.
Well, there you have it. From the Bronze Bomber himself, at Bronze Bomber on Instagram, on Twitter. He's just a good time. He came in with his manager and his fiance. He's a family dude, and he is knocking dudes out left and right, and I would love to see him fight Anthony Joshua. I think it's the fight the heavyweight division is yearning for, and it's just a matter of time. I guarantee it happens in 2018. And they both have tough tests. If Joshua fights Parker from New Zealand, who's not an easy test to get by, and freaking Deontay Wilder gets his way and fights Ortiz, which I wasn't that big of a fan. I saw the look in Deontay's eyes, how he wants to fight him and, in his words, kill him. I'm in now. I'm in for both those fights. I hope it works out, and I wish nothing but the best for Wilder. He's one of the good guys. So that's why you got to root for him, because he's not a knucklehead. He's not out there doing the wrong thing. He works hard, and he knocks dudes out. He's 39-0 with 38 knockouts, for God's sakes. That's nuts. Say what you want about him, whatever his technique, whatever. But one thing about that guy, he's an exciting fighter. So I appreciate the time with him. I appreciate you guys listening. This is a bonus episode. So hopefully it takes you in the weekend. Hopefully your work day is a little better tomorrow, or maybe in the UK right now, listening, or Australia, and it's daytime for you guys. And enjoy. So as usual, I'm Brendan Schaub. Till next time, bigger, badder, browner. Come and see me, Ontario, November 30th. Then I'm in Buffalo, December 14th through the 16th. And then just announced one night only, Comedy Works, Denver, Colorado, February 1st. One night, one show only, Denver, I'm coming home. Tickets at tfatk.com. See you guys there. I'm out.